Experiencing car care live and in person, there's nothing like it. Once you feel the products, once you see how they work live right there, it's such a great experience. And at our events, we actually do live demos there. And in this video you're gonna watch today is Adam doing one of the live demos of our polisher and ceramic coating. And what you get to see is how he goes through that demo, but also the reaction of the people doing it with him. And if you get a chance to experience that live at one of our events, take the time to go see how Adam does it and get a first-hand look at the products working right before your eyes.
One step is a clay bar. You guys ever use a clay bar? You know how those work?
No, I haven't.
I'm gonna.
But that's too much work. Yeah.
Oh, it's so easy. Your mind be blown. Clay mitt. Okay, this is the business side. This is just the back, okay? So when you clay mitt, all those little bumps that are on your truck, you know those, you know on the tailgate the most, right?
Yeah.
Spray a little detail spray. Little detail spray. This is the spray and wipe like stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Take this clay mitt and boom, hand in. This is how you pick up all the contaminants. You throw this in your wash bucket while you're washing it. You can just do it with soap. Like literally, that'll pull the crud off, okay? So it'll work out to where you can get a whole truck done in about 7 to 10 minutes. Super easy. 3.5-inch pad's the easiest pad to use. Feel that foam, and then feel this foam. We got microfiber cutting, there we go. Okay, so you got a black pickup, right?
Brand new.
Brand new? All right, so.
You see swirls right in black.
Oh, you see it, oh, they come from the dealership new like that. You know, the lot guys will wash them a couple times and that'll be that.
That'll do it.
This microfiber cutting pad is how you cut the heaviest of the damage, okay? So the 3.5-inch polisher, this little guy is the easiest. It goes into all the little body panel. You know, you have all these seams, you have all the dents and all the different types of contours in the finish. You gotta make sure you can get in those. This does it the easiest. Blue pad, blue compound. Okay, anytime you have a blue pad, you're using a blue compound. Now, okay, just a little bit of that juice, and when it's sitting in the sun, it definitely is a little bit thinner than when it's not sitting in the sun. Okay, rub it around a little bit. So this is a dual action polisher. See how it oscillates. It's not just a spinner. It's not just a buffer. I'm gonna start this sucker at setting 4. And then we'll work that compound in a little bit. All right, then once I've got it worked in, setting 6, very slow passes. You're gonna end up doing your truck, your black truck and your black Jeep once a year. Just from washing it, there's gonna be a little bit of scratches, you know? It's part of the jam. So I go up and back, up and back, up and back this way. And then I want to go the opposite way, called cross hatching. That's how you get every scratch out. The thing that I want to know about is a little pressure over the head, and you never want to be off center. When it's flat, you're correcting all that. When it's on its edge, you're only correcting a little bit. So you just want to make sure and keep it flat. All right, so boom. Now, when I start, I leave it on the finish to stop. This microfiber cutting pad gets sort of laid down like this. Give it a little quick hit with a brush. And that brings the fluffy again. Then it cuts again, okay? So then I peel that pad off. Blue. The blue foam, if your truck's brand new and you have very little damage, you can skip that. This is the heavy scratch removal. This is the minor scratch removal, which is really easy to use. So blue compound, we have two products, okay, for polishing and compounding. We've creatively called them compound and polish. So there's no like, what am I doing? Well, if you're fixing something, you're compounding it. If you're just trying to make it shiny, you're polishing it. So if you're using the white, you're gonna use the white pad. If you're using anything blue, use the blue. Here's the deal. It's so good to learn on somebody else's car. So,
right.
Okay, so put this guy over your shoulder when you're like on your hood.
Yep.
You don't want to lean on the cord on your truck. All right, so you're gonna turn it on while it's make sure leave it on the finish while you turn it on, so that if it spins without pressure, it'll sling polish on your buddies. Okay, all right, go for it. There you go. So put one hand over the head, and the other hand all the way out the tail. There you go. And just go slow.
Damn, Rick, you can do mine too.
Yeah, right? Let him figure it out on his truck first, then he'll come over into your Jeep. Okay, now feel this. Polisher still feels pretty balanced, right? And you're gonna go slower. There you go, perfect. So the slower you go with each pass, the more complete the correction's gonna be. So if you go fast, you have to go over it 4 times. You go slow, you just want each pass, you're doing all the work and you'll get it done. So that's the key, is to get it corrected as few as possible. Perfect. Then you leave it on the thing while you turn it off. This way it doesn't sling. And then pull this off, and then grab that towel.
Wipe it off?
Give it a little wipe. Just say how, usually when you're removing compound's usually really hard to remove. This is not. This is pretty easy to remove. So it's gonna be a tiny bit hazy, but, oh. What do you think? How are we looking?
Pretty good.
60.
It's not done.
Yo, yeah, you see the before and after is very clear, but see, I still see a few little things. Do you see some of the damage still here? So before you decide, you know what? I'm gonna move on to the polish. You know what I'm gonna do?
That's what I'll be doing.
You wanna wait. No, don't do it, because you wanna wait. Take it one more step, because I see a few more scratches down there. Before you decide to say, oh, that's good enough, you don't wanna be good enough. Watch how slow I go over these scratches.
Yeah, it's just way more revolutions than one.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit slower, and with a tiny bit more pressure over the head. You hear the machine working? That extra pressure will cut that last little bit of damage all the way, so that you're not looking at a 70% or an 80%. You know, you want 100% scratches gone. So with the speed that I'm going here, I'm gonna end up in a pretty good spot. So now let's see. Now let's see if we got them to where it's. So now all those little fine scratches, I see one. So that's what you want. You're gonna do your whole vehicle down to where you can see, one little scratch here, one little scratch there. If you try to get every tiny little scratch, your detail is gonna take a very long time. What you wanna do is just get the whole car to where this is 95% or better. And then all this haze, you see the small haze, right?
Yeah.
So using the compound with the cutting pad, you're gonna leave it a tiny bit hazy like this, and that's when you go white pad in the white polish, okay? So white and white. And what that does, that's gonna be the last step, and that's gonna get all that haze out.
Sure.
And again, back down to 4, move the product around a little bit. And how long it takes me to do a car? It takes me 4 months, because I never ever do more than 1 fender a week. I'll just do 1 fender. I'll sit there and work on it. I'll get my little light. We have these little cool little inspection lights. Nope, another scratch. I'll just do 1 fender a week, because I never have 8 hours consecutive in my life. But I definitely have enough to do that. You wanna try this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. You turn it back on, just push it away from you. This guy over your shoulder. If you want to try it, you can.
Can you go back and forth?
Yep,
Polishing
yep,
both ways?
yep, both ways.
How
It's
long
slower.
do you do it? Slower?
I like to go one time this way,
Okay.
and then a second round the opposite way. When you cross every scratch, you really get them all out. If you go across them is when you knock them down. So, and when you overlap by about 10 or 15%.
Sure.
This way you'll get the panel done a lot faster. If you overlap like 60% every time, you're gonna have a really nice finish. Okay, now check this out. See how right now that pad stops turning?
Yeah.
That's because it's not dead flat.
Okay.
When it's turning a lot like that, that's when you know that's dual action, oscillating and spinning. Yeah. So make sure that whenever you're polishing, you don't want it to stop. If it stops, you know, okay, hey, I'm not dead flat again. Go ahead. All right, perfect. So now we're just gonna go like this, leave it on there until it stops. Perfect. Let's see how the paint looks now. Came out looking pretty good, didn't it? Here's before, and here's before. So that came out pretty strong. So now we got it 95, 97%, and that's what, you know, that's what you want. I see where I didn't hit it, a little hazy here, a little hazy there. See the tiny bit of haze where it's not dead perfect? Right here, it's just a little bit, instead of being rich and dark black, that's because we didn't go over that little area as much. So just, you're gonna like, okay, I see what I did. Boom, put the...
If you look at it from here, there's line there and there's line there.
Yeah, yeah, come here. Look, you can see exactly what I'm seeing. Come around this way. Black looking good, hazy from the compound, and then before, lots of scratches, you know? So you have the ability to see, understand, okay, good, you know, hazy, and before, which is all scratched up. So that's that. So then, let's say you get it to where you like it. Now, that's pretty close, but maybe not all the way. Like I see a little bit too much haze there, still here. A little bit too hazy. What you see the polisher leaves it hazy when you're using a compound. I want that out. So let's see. I'm pretty dry here. It's a little bit extra. Instead of going to low setting, I'm gonna go, I think, setting 6, and then I'm gonna go very slow. All right, now I think that this extra speed, and then I cross-hatch. I always want to go up and back, so both directions. If you use like a cheap towels that have the tags hanging off of them, those will cause immediate damage again. So make sure you don't use those for anything. I say check oil or clean exhaust tips, but don't use the yellow towels on your paint because they are always scratching. You know, you feel this, so you know the difference. It's a massive difference. One little mark right there, but otherwise, look at before, and look how rich that is now. Now I like it. And at that point you decide, now I'm ready to ceramic coat it. Okay, so now I want to keep it that way. I want to seal in that excellence. I want to make sure and keep it perfect. So wherever the wind is, I want to spray so that the wind is going away from the car that I'm doing. Like right now, feels like I'm looking at your hair. Yes, it's blowing that way. So I've got the wind to my back, which is critical, and I want to spray into the applicator pad. Got to turn on the sprayer first. So a couple sprays, okay? Ceramic spray coating. This is how you apply it. Okay? It's gonna rainbow. As soon as it's done rainbowing, then it's gonna bead up and it's gonna look like it's sweating. See the little sweat pellets? They look like this, like little tiny, look real close. This looks like little tiny, like it's beading up a little bit, okay? See these little tiny bubbles, right? That means it's cured. Now that was an exceptionally quick cure because it's black in the direct sun. That's not how you wanna do the ceramic coating on your car. Don't do a ceramic on a black car in the direct sun. You can do it easier, but I'm gonna very gently wipe a little bit of the ceramic off. Just very gently. Flip the towel over and finish it off. Okay? That's ceramic coating. So ceramic coating today is much easier than waxing or using a sealant or anything. It's very, very easy. So now when you hit this with a pressure washer, it's like insane. Dirt comes off with less scrubbing. You don't have to rub as hard. You don't have to scrub as hard. When you go to blow the car off with your blower, your air cannon or your master blast or whatever, water flies off it. So the whole goal of washing and drying is to not scratch it. So the less you have to scrub it, the less you have to wipe it dry, is less scratching. It works on plastic, it works on paint, so I do the bed caps of the pickup, the mirrors, do all the plastic that's on the exterior of the vehicle. I mean, it's technology that takes you so much further. It's like when they came out with microfiber versus using cotton towels, it was such a huge advancement. This is cool. So this is ceramic coated now. Watch the wet water leave no trace on the ceramic coating. I mean, literally. Yeah. Yeah. When you're halfway through a winter or you're halfway through driving your car in a lot of weather, a lot of either rain or snow or anything, but you'll see the water beading stop. It does slow down. when you're driving through a lot of chemicals. So then wash it, hit it with a clay mitt. That's how you get, it's like a clay bar, only it's a mitt. It takes all the bumps off. And then you can either quickly hit it with the ceramic detailer or coat it again. Just coat the whole bottom, you know, so halfway through the winter, I typically will do that. People will say that ceramic coatings are like this major voodoo thing. It's like, it's really not, it's pretty easy. You know, it's easier than wax.